What are offshore bank accounts? Legality, benefits and risks explained. Do you think offshore bank accounts are just for criminals and tax dodgers? Think again. In this video you will see how to deal with offshore bank accounts legally. I will show you how millions of smart, honest and law-abiding citizens use them to secure their financial future. Discover why going offshore might be your best financial decision ever. Secure your wealth and prepare for rainy days. The next crisis will come for sure. Stay with me.
Caputo and Partners, SwissBankingLawyers.com. We fight for your money.
I am Enzo Caputo, Swiss banking lawyer. I help protect the assets of international private clients. I have worked as a banking lawyer and compliance officer for the old UBS Group. I was the CEO of the Swiss Association of Asset Managers. Today I run the boutique law firm Caputo and Partners and the blog SwissBankingLawyers.com. That's the place where successful international business people like you find tips and solutions to better protect your assets with Swiss banks, make more money and pay less tax. What are offshore bank accounts? What can offshore bank accounts offer me that normal bank accounts at home cannot? Offshore bank accounts are not located in your country of residence. They are in tax havens offshore in secure countries with stable governments. They are far away and protected from the influence of the legal system at home. The best asset protection strategy always starts with a Swiss bank account. It means asset protection, banking secrecy, safer banks and the best wealth managers. Whether you are an entrepreneur, an international investor or just interested in asset protection, offshore bank accounts are used for international business, asset protection, tax planning, investment diversification, secrecy and privacy banking. They are often established in countries known for specific financial benefits, such as Switzerland, the most important offshore financial center. Singapore, Dubai, the Cayman Islands, Monte Carlo, Gibraltar, Jersey, Hong Kong and many other offshore jurisdictions. Why open an offshore account? There are multiple reasons why smart investors open offshore bank accounts. An important reason is asset protection. Offshore accounts protect wealth from political and economic instability, unpredictable governments and high inflation in the home country. They shield assets from frivolous lawsuits, divorce and bankruptcy. At least they can put you in the driver's seat for better settlement negotiations in a dispute. Disconnect your assets from the influence of the legal system at home. They can protect you from financial kidnapping and confiscation. A multi-currency account with a strong Swiss franc protects you from currency devaluation. Certain jurisdictions offer tax optimization based on international tax planning structures. The tax bite can be legally reduced by accurate planning and structuring. Swiss banks are safer than banks at home. In Switzerland there are very strong capital requirements. The Swiss banks we suggest to our clients have no leveraged balance sheets. They avoid risky lending activities and investment banking adventures. They have super solid balance sheet. They have a conservative business model focused on wealth management only. The Swiss private banks are unprecedented and among the safest banks in the world. Offshore banks offer more financial privacy regarding account ownership and transactions. However, banking secrecy protecting tax dodgers has been globally eliminated. Switzerland offers the highest level of financial privacy today as long as taxes are paid. Opening a Swiss bank account with untaxed money is impossible today. Swiss banks ask for documentary evidence as proof of tax compliance. Keeping money in different currencies and countries provides diversification against risks like inflation, confiscation, political and economic instability and poorly capitalized banks with leveraged balance sheets. In Switzerland, you have access to unique international investment opportunities you can dream about in your home country, including club deals and financial products available only in Switzerland. The Swiss private banking industry has a proven track record of 200 years in successful wealth management. The skills of Swiss wealth managers are unprecedented. Most Swiss wealth managers are value investors like Warren Buffett. They think long term. The average duration for keeping a Swiss bank account is 17 years. Common offshore banking jurisdictions are known as offshore financial centers, or OFCs. The most important and famous offshore financial center is Switzerland. Swiss banks manage nearly 30% of all offshore money in the world. Switzerland is known for stability, financial privacy, exceptional service quality, financial safety, secure banks, no corruption, and the best wealth managers worldwide. Swiss bankers go to jail if they disclose client information to third parties. Client confidentiality is key. The rules are strict. If you are a criminal, Switzerland is a bad choice. The high level of compliance culture will reveal contaminated assets right away. Criminal money will be discovered sooner or later. Switzerland is the #1 destination for secure physical gold storage. Switzerland is a crypto-friendly jurisdiction. It's famous for secure cryptocurrency storage for substantial amounts of crypto. The Cayman Islands are attractive for hedge funds, tax efficiency, corporate banking, and the storage of physical gold. Singapore is famous for political stability. Severe regulation protects the interests of investors. There is a high level of compliance, close to the Swiss level. Since the automatic exchange of information works, Luxembourg has lost its financial privacy reputation. However, it is still an attractive jurisdiction for holding structures, tax efficiency, and private banking services for high net worth individuals. The Isle of Man is attractive as tax haven, insurance, investments, pensions, and fiduciaries. Bermuda is known as an offshore insurance and trust hub. The British Virgin Islands, or the BVI, are known for providing offshore companies and trusts. BVI structures are used to hold luxury real estate in London. How to open an offshore bank account? For opening an offshore bank account, the formal identification of the account's beneficial owner is super important. The passport is a key document for combating money laundering. Documentary evidence to prove the assets and know your customer information is imperative. The source of funds must be disclosed and proven by documentary evidence. A typical question banks will pose is how you made the first million. The compliance level is increasing worldwide because of more severe anti-money laundering regulations. A good bank asks questions. If your bank does not ask questions, run away. Most probably it's fraud. Swiss bank account opening minimum balance. UBS has increased its minimum balance requirements up to 2 million euros. Banque Pictet asks for 5 million euros. Citibank demands 10 million euros to start. However, most Swiss banks accept 1 million Swiss francs to open a bank account in Switzerland as a non-resident client. If you ask me for a Swiss bank introduction, 500,000 euros is enough to open a Swiss bank account. As I work with external asset managers, my clients benefit from institutional pricing and the privileged terms and conditions. I work only with the safest Swiss banks and wealth managers that get results. On average, you can calculate between 8 and 12% returns per year. If you are interested in opening a Swiss bank account with me, write an email or call me today. You will have peace of mind. Your Swiss account will be operative within 10 days. In Switzerland, there are more than 200 banks and 2,500 wealth managers. The Swiss private banking industry is known as non-transparent. Smart people take advice. It will be much easier to find the safest bank in this jungle. Be prepared for the following question. Why do you need a bank account? The best answer is, I need it for asset protection and risk diversification. Many banks now offer remote online account opening. More exclusive banks insist on a personal face-to-face meeting. I strongly recommend a personal meeting. Let's dive into legal and regulatory considerations. Is offshore banking legal? Yes. Having money in an offshore bank account is legal as long as you comply with the tax reporting obligation in your country. However, using offshore accounts for tax evasion, money laundering, or hiding criminal money is illegal in most countries. Please be advised that regulatory frameworks have tightened to ensure tax transparency and accountability. The most important global efforts to combat abuse are the following. FATCA stands for Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. That's a US law forcing foreign banks to report bank account information of US citizens to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, the US tax agency. It is financial suicide not to report offshore assets with your tax returns. The authorities in the USA are automatically informed. There is no way around. CIRS stands for Common Reporting Standard. This IRS is based on a multinational agreement imposed by the OECD for the automatic exchange of bank account information. If you do not report, the tax authorities have been informed about your assets offshore. Swiss banks are aware of the reporting obligations. They created bank statements in compliance with the tax rules in the client's home country. A CPA can easily understand and report the numbers in the tax declaration. AML stands for anti-money laundering laws. Banks must check the origin of funds, the client's identity, and whether transactions are genuine. In case of suspicion, they must comply with reporting obligations to the Money Laundering Reporting Office. After reporting suspicious activities, the bank account will be frozen until the economic background is clarified and duly documented. As a result, classic banking secrecy does not protect tax evasion anymore. Close to all existing offshore bank accounts are now fully disclosed to the relevant tax agencies. However, Swiss banking secrecy still protects all the other privacy areas except for tax evasion. Financial privacy is still protected in Switzerland. A Swiss banker goes to jail if he discloses bank account information to third parties. Let's see the benefits of offshore bank accounts. If you have a Swiss bank account, for example, you automatically become a multi-currency account. Keeping the entire wealth in euro or US dollars only is a cluster risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Asset and currency diversification, including the strong Swiss franc, is the gold standard of classic Swiss wealth management. You have access to higher interest rates and better investment options with the support of the best wealth managers in the world, the Swiss wealth managers. Since 2008, my clients realized returns from 8 to 12% per year on average. You are protected from economic and political instability, including financial kidnapping. Financial kidnapping is frequent in South America. Tailor-made estate planning and asset protection strategies are easy to implement. The highest financial privacy is available in Switzerland. Financial predators attacking your wealth must disclose the name of the bank, the account number, and the exact name of your Swiss bank account to the Swiss judge. Otherwise, the Swiss judge will refuse to freeze the assets. So-called fishing expeditions are illegal in Switzerland. Fishing expeditions are account searching strategies to find where the account is located. Is offshore banking risky? Most offshore banks exceed the safety criteria imposed by the European Union. They are safer than domestic banks. The Swiss private banks are the safest banks in the world because of their strong capitalization. I know that bank safety is crucial to my non-resident clients. I recommend only Swiss private banks with a Tier 1 capital ratio over 20%. Only the safest banks are good enough for my clients. The most important risk is not declaring your money. You must declare your offshore account. Swiss banks will freeze your money if they discover unpaid tax. Don't play with fire. Swiss banks have tailor-made bank statements. They are made in compliance with your tax system at home. Your CPA will do the tax filing in 15 minutes. It's a no-brainer. There is no way around. Tax declaration is imperative. Who uses offshore accounts? Offshore accounts are used by law-abiding entrepreneurs, smart families, actors, sportsmen, celebrities, expats, digital nomads, and all investors looking for asset protection with bankable assets of at least $1 million. Final considerations. Today, criminals have no chance to open an offshore bank account in a well-regulated banking jurisdiction. The level of compliance is very high. It's impossible to open a Swiss bank account with untaxed money. You must pay your taxes. Offshore bank accounts are perfect for wealth management, asset protection, and wealth diversification when used legally and transparently. Due to increasing scrutiny and regulation, many investors take professional advice before opening an offshore bank account. Insider information just like this cannot be found in bibliotheques, universities, libraries, and not in the internet. If you like information just like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel now and ring the bell. Click the subscribe button and ring the bell. By doing so, you will never miss a new video. You will do a favor to the YouTube algorithm that promotes my videos. If you want to open a Swiss bank account within 2 weeks, grab your mobile phone now and dial 00414421244404. Remember, it's never too early to protect and diversify your assets, but often too late. Be rich and stay rich. Have a wonderful day.